What up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm here with a very special guest. We got my boy Sidd. I've known him for about like 3-4 years now. And just to get started, give a quick introduction for yourself. Let the audience know.
All right, what's up, y'all? My name is Sidd. I'm a first-year student at Irvine Valley College, and I'm studying engineering. And yeah.
All right, bet. All right, just to get it started, I have a kind of a personal question for you because I didn't really know you before, a few years ago. So I kind of want you to just talk about growing up, what was it like for you? What were you like as a kid? Some stuff me or Ryan didn't know about you before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So growing up, I was always playing basketball. I started at a young age, but I was always an outgoing kid, I always wanted to talk to people and meet new people. And then quarantine hit, and I was on the game a lot. I got really, really fat, chubby, it was bad. And then I stopped playing basketball in quarantine. So your boy was kind of cooked. But then we got
stopped playing basketball?
Yeah, during quarantine.
Dang.
For 2-3 years, or 2 years.
Dang.
That was cooked.
Yeah.
I was it was bad. But then we got back into it right before high school, and then, that kind of took over my whole personality, and But yeah, that was kind of me, and yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like knowing you, I would just think straight basketball. And I mean, for context, this dude, we'll get into it more later, but obviously we had a season with you when you transferred to our high school. But this guy would be waking up 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. workouts every morning. Just one of the hardest workers I know. So it's kind of cool to see how far you came from those times. I can't even picture you being fat, I ain't gonna lie. that just don't even make sense in my brain. But
all right, so kind of for our next question, you had an unconventional high school career.
Yeah.
So, you transferred schools 2 times, and then you transferred to one school, which was our school, and then you went back. So talk about the process, the whole process of, deciding to transfer from, Beckman to Northwood, and then being with us for that year, and then how that was, and then obviously your story of transferring back too.
Right. So I actually transferred 3 times.
Oh,
yeah.
From where? Wait, what?
So I started my freshman year at Legacy.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of
but
that was a project-based school, academic heavy, or not academic heavy, but I was commuting to Beckman to play there for my freshman year, and it was just hard to commute. So then I transferred to Beckman. And Beckman, it was good while it lasted. Your boy broke his ankle before the season started, and the coach was kind of on some weird timing, right? So I wasn't really getting no bump.
Yeah.
I was kind of these the whole time.
Yeah.
But then, but a lot of things during the summer, I would go to a club tournament. I went to 3SSB in South Carolina, and the coach didn't play me for 2 weeks after that, in the summer. What are we talking about, bro? I'm going to 3SSB. What are we talking about? Right? So then I was kind of over it. And then I remember hitting up this guy, yo, let's go to Omar. I've never texted this dude. And then we all went to Omar. We was working out, and I was.
Wait, explain what Omar is.
Oh, Omar is a trainer. It's one of the best trainers in OC. Tap in with him, right? He gets you right for real. But we were working out, and then I was just interviewing him low key about how Northwood was, and then 2 days later I was yo, I'm transferring to Northwood. But Northwood was great. It was amazing. I loved every second of it. Manalo made the team absolutely amazing. Yeah. And we just had a great time. It was just so cohesive. The year went great. And then around April, Manalo dropped a bomb, and he was yo, quit him, or he's leaving. I'm yo, that was fine. But then, what happened in summer. Then we went back to Beckman, and Beckman was fun, but then I just kind of basketball's basketball.
Now, what happened in the summer, though?
Bang. Nah, so
you don't have to answer.
No, we definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
So your boy, as Ryan said, workaholic. So throughout the year, Zach would let me in the gym at 6 a.m. and then I'd work out. And then one day he gave me the key, and me being me and Demarius being Demarius, I'm gonna throw him under the bus here. But we came up with a great idea of creating a copy of the key. So we had a copy of the key, even though Zach was giving us the key to the gym. So then when Manalo quit, Zach had his keys and he was out too, the whole staff left. Mm-hmm. So I'm just I'm trying to get some work in. I'm not trying to drive to Irvine Center Drive just to go to 24.
Yeah.
So, we were using the key, and then one day before a summer camp comes in, I'm working out, and then boom, Miss Wong comes in. Which is our athletic director.
Yeah.
And I was my heart dropped. I'm like, what is she doing? It's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
She's like, well, how'd you guys get in? I'm capping I'm just capping. Like, yo, door was just open. Because sometimes it'd be open. You know how they keep it like unlocked?
Yeah.
Just yank the doors open. She's like, oh, okay. I'm putting everything away. And I think when I close the door, the storage room door, it like jams. And like, so that's open. And then so like when we go home, I come for the first day at camp and she pulls me out mid-practice. I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm like scared. And then she's like, what actually happened? I'm still capping.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, the janitor let me in. Like, she pulls up the footage. I'm going like this instead. Yeah, she's like, nah. So yeah, then I was
She
cooked.
looked at the footage? Oh,
yeah,
she
they got a
did,
camera.
yeah.
And then so I'm cooked.
Yeah.
And they suspended me for like 50% of the season. So I was like, nah. Yeah, Okie still got suspended for a little bit because they went to see. I was lucky gone for the whole year, but then my ADs and my principals they fought for me at Beckman and they got it down to only 8 games. So I had like a good 80% of my senior year, but
That's good, yeah.
you know,
That's crazy.
clouded judgment.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a wild time. But okay, anyway, kind of transitioning from basketball. So you told me just recently that you had the opportunity to play for UC Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And like you basically had the offer from them, which is pretty impressive for those of y'all watching. That's like really good. But you kind of, I mean, I guess at the moment, I mean, I feel like when you were in high school, like basketball was your whole life.
Right.
And then like now, like, you know, you barely be hooping. I'll fry you, but that's besides the point anyway. But as I was saying, like, so you turned that down and decided to go to Irvine Valley College. Kind of like, what was going through your head during that? Like, what motivated you to go to Irvine Valley College and kind of focus on your career?
Right.
And yeah, basically.
I mean, like for like the first 3 years of high school, like you guys know, like it was hoop for everything. Like I would skip not skip school, but I would obviously like in my day in the life videos I put on TikTok, like it's all day hoop and it's schoolwork for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like that. But I like going back to Beckman, I reconvened with a lot of people that excelled in both areas, right? And even like when I first came to Northwood, like you guys showed me like what excellence on the court and off the court is. Like you guys had like crazy GPAs. I saw you guys get into like great schools, and that kind of like started leaking in my brains. Like, damn, these guys can do it at both levels. I don't have to isolate myself to like one thing, right?
Yeah.
So when I came back to Beckman and I'm asking these people like, and they're all applying to schools, and I'm hearing 4.5, 4.8s. I'm like, yeah, bro, my shit like, you know, like, and I thought I had been like pushing myself and like working so hard on this, and then their thing is more transferable. I had nothing to show for like, you know, my work. But that was not really that kind of sparked it. But like when I got suspended for the whole year, I was suspended for the whole year for like a month while my ADs and principal were fighting for me. Like I was just kind of like, dang, like what am I going to do without this? Like realistically, like I was in league, like I really realized there's levels to this, you know what I'm saying? Like that hits you hard, but I realized that, like, dang, like I'm not league, and like realistically, if I wanted to stick it out, play overseas, like I'm not going to be making hella bankroll, right? And that's what I'm trying to, you know. So, I mean, I got into the school and like I had the offer. Like, I was really excited to play there. Like when I went to the visit, like my mom saw it on my face. Like I was so excited, but like it wasn't too good for my major. And I was thinking like, all right, like I had like a decent, like I had a 4.1, 4.2 in high school. But like if I had completely applied myself throughout high school the way I did to basketball, like who knows where I could have been, right? So and I'm so lucky at least to be in California where, you know, like community college is like a set pathway, you know, like the other states it's not like that.
Yeah.
You know, so like I have another chance. I had another chance. I wanted to take it and like completely apply myself and see where I could go. Cause there was a point in time where basketball was like, I just didn't want to do it, you know?
Yeah. No,
like, cause you like kind of burn yourself out and it's like, you're just doing it for doing it.
Yeah. Especially during that time when you were like sitting out, you must have like a lot of time to just like think about things. Watch your teammates, you know, put on.
Yeah, absolutely. I was second group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. It was interesting. Did you ever experience that? Like getting tired throughout your senior year, or was it just like?
Ryan, you go first. Yeah.
I don't know, it was kind of tough for me because I feel like in my senior year I knew that was my last ride. Yeah. Like I'd like talk to schools, but I kind of knew like they weren't gonna offer me just because of the body of work I'd put out up until that point probably wasn't strong enough. Because I was trying to play D3, like you guys know, I was trying to play D3s, and with those, there's no scholarships. Right. So I got to be able to get pre-approval from those schools to let me in and then have that spot on the team before that whole process even started. And like, obviously my senior year was my best year, but that wasn't what showed up, and that's not really what they knew. And by that like time and all those applications had gone through, like I just hadn't had that body of work. And admittedly, I don't even know if after that it would have been enough. And like that's a hypothetical that doesn't even matter because it's all in the past.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that, I feel like I was just really more nervous about the fact that I didn't know what I was going to do once basketball ended. Right. Just because, kind of as you said, it was my whole thing up until that point in life. So I was really just trying to enjoy every moment of it. And the good thing, my parents were always strict on me academically. So that was one thing where I knew I was always going to be able to fall back on. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really thinking too far into that kind of stuff. I was more like, we got X amount of games left. Let's try to make the most of it. And obviously, you being there helped out a lot. I don't know if we would have went as far as we did if you weren't. So
that was fun. Yeah, no, I think same for me in a way. Or actually, kind of different because I feel like I started taking basketball serious like later as like kind of like you said. Mm-hmm. So already I didn't really have that burnout that I know a lot of people have. Like if you've been grinding basketball like your whole life, like you kind of get that burnout when you get to high school and get to that age. I feel like I didn't have that. So like that junior and senior year for me was like, that was like kind of like peak bliss, if that makes sense. And then also kind of what you were talking about academic standings and whatnot. I feel like at Northwood, like most people are like really big on academics. And I feel like I'm the type of person where like I need stuff to like stand out about me. So that kind of even drew me closer to basketball because I was like, this is something I could do that like, it makes me like stand out from the rest in a way. Even if that seems like kind of like, I don't know, egotistical, but I'm not trying to convey that. But anyways, that's just kind of how I saw it. And then, but the point that I got to was like after basketball season because I was having so much fun with it. And then I got to that point and I couldn't really play anywhere. Like I could have tried to like walk on at Chapman or go the IVC route and try to play there, but it wasn't really like worth it in the long run. So I feel like that was the moment where I kind of had that like identity crisis where I'm like, bro, what do I even do with my life? Like, what am I even good at? Obviously, besides basketball, I was like, I don't know. I didn't really know what to do. But once school got started for me, like freshman year, and like I started exploring other hobbies and passions, then it really like, that helped a lot for sure.
Yeah, now like to build on that, like you kind of got to weigh your options, Like, Like I don't know, like when I weighed it, it was like my dad wanted me to play really bad.
Yeah.
At Santa Cruz, like I mean that's his dream, as like an immigrant parent, you see your son.
Do
something that's not like you don't see it a lot.
You don't
see
sure.
like, but I don't know. I kind of had to. Even go to community college, right? When all your friends are going to like these big name schools, it gets kind of like a tough pill to swallow, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of add on to what you just said, if you've seen the TJ pod, I kind of gave my thoughts on community college, and obviously it's a great round. I know you're gonna do great things at great places. On that note, as you mentioned at the start, you're interested in engineering.
Yeah.
What kind of drew you towards that path? Was this something you always had your eyes set on, or is that kind of something that developed over time?
Yeah, so I definitely did not have like engineering as like it's not something that like I've been like since I was a young kid. Like my family's full of engineers. My sister's civil engineering, mom's software, my dad's like electrical and software. So it's like a family full of engineers. And that's kind of how they, built up from like not having much. So it was kind of like always like, I've always heard the word engineering thrown around and never really knew what it meant. But like I was so like swarmed with basketball, like I didn't even know like what major I was when I was applying. So I was applying like random majors, whichever one sounded cool.
That was me.
But like I feel like, for me, I feel like what drew me to engineering, like first is like how much like money you can make off of it. Like that's kind of what drew my attention. But just like when I heard people like talk about engineering and how hard it like the curriculum is. But when they would kind of like fearmonger, right? Like, and they're like, oh, it's so hard. But like when I hear like other people in like higher positions talk, it like teaches you how to like apply yourself to like every problem, right? And that's how you can get into multiple industries and like wherever you want to go. So that kind of broad scope that you can like get into any field kind of appealed me more than like restricting myself to something more niche. Like, yeah.
And if you look at like statistically, if you look at like CEOs like around like the world or even like the tech industry specifically, like most of them are engineers too. And it's probably because of what you said, like being able to figure out how to solve problems is like the biggest thing in engineering. That's pretty much what it is.
Sure.
But yeah, no, so you did a project for engineering. We were talking about on the phone. I remember like a few months ago. It was like the shoe thing. You know more about it than me. You can explain it. But you won like an award. You went to IVC and then regionals. You won first place at the IVC one, which is pretty impressive. But talk to us about that.
Right. So, I mean, the project is basically we try to create an insole that you can extract your gait dynamics, which is your walking dynamics, right? So I started this project with Miles, a friend that I kind of got close to again. Like we went to the same elementary school, but I saw him in my chemistry class over summer. And we're both kind of, because we're both applying to colleges this year, like we're trying to figure out something to do, right? Like we didn't want to just be like any other applicant. So we started this project. So basically what it is, it's like an insole like these. And it's like, you got a piezoelectric sensor on both sides. So basically what that does is it doesn't really use any like battery. What it does is it creates voltage when you press on it. So like we can capture like your heel striking times and your toe offs. And then we also have a 6-axis inertial measurement unit. I'm using buzzwords right here. Well, basically what that does is it just tracks the acceleration in both rotationally and linearly. And then, you know, you apply some like filtering techniques, like Fourier transforms, which basically takes the time position domain and changes it into a frequency domain. And what you can do with that is you can extract your step cadence or your stride frequency. And that's kind of what we kind of try to put out there, like more of like a proof of concept thing that you can do this. Like the entire thing, like if you just look at the components, it's probably like less than like $12. So it's very affordable, and we're just kind of more of a proof of concept. Like what we can extract from it is probably, like what we did extract from it is probably very minimal to what you can, because we only had like 3-4 months. So we were able to get step count, stride frequency, step cadence. And you can see like how your foot would, I don't know if you can see that, but how your foot's like aligned based off of the gyroscopic rotation. But that's kind of what we did. And, you know, we presented, as you said, at the IVC Research Symposium. We won an award, and then we presented at like a more regional conference, which is the Southern California Undergraduate Conference, something like that. SCUR 2025.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great experience. Talked to a lot of highly educated individuals on the matter, and it was a great experience.
Bro, yeah, that's actually insane. Like you explaining that, like I feel like half of it went over my head. But do you feel like there's any like business applications to that? Like, do you think you can like try to like make it into a product or something that could maybe even help like medical companies like figure out people's walking patterns, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I think the main application for this is that like, because there were similar things, like there's similar insoles that are out there already.
Yeah.
But they didn't use like the exact like pieces that we used, right? So it's more of like a proof of concept, but the idea is that like it could save you a trip to the doctors. Like you don't have to go there. You know, let's say you just have to gather your data from the insole. You send that data over to the doctor, and he could do like an analysis just based off the data, right?
Yeah.
So that type of thing is like an avenue for future research. And the thing that we did, like those 2 sensors we use are the forefoot and the heel, or the front and the back. I don't know. I don't know. But like those only capture impact forces, right? So it's like a one-time thing. Okay. But if we use like an FSR, which is a force resistive sensor.
So they go in your body like
No.
everywhere?
I'm just doing this because I got like a tick or something. I don't know. But like if you use like an FSR, you can get like a consistent force reading, right? So you can see how much force is over time. But the piezoelectric sensor, it's like an impact thing. Okay. So there's like a lot of avenues for future research, and it's definitely something you could apply a business to. But we haven't taken it there, but we are, you know, applying it to that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you said those exact applications don't exist yet, that's something you could probably explore, looking into like intellectual property, all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's sick. And I haven't, obviously I'm not as tapped in as you are into the field, but I haven't heard anything like that before. So that's really cool.
Get a widespread, you know.
Yeah.
Get him the opposite. The business side, you know, big deals.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, so yeah, you said you're a first year in college, but you're applying to colleges now. So you're gonna start, you know, or you probably already done most of your applications, maybe a few left, but where are you kind of setting your eyes on, and I guess why do you want to go there?
So like my first goal is like Berkeley, right? Because that's like a top 3 engineering program in the country. My sister goes there, so like, I mean, as a parent, it'd be dope to say, you know, both your children went to Cal. You know, so like that's like the goal. Plus, I'm applying industrial engineering. For you guys that don't know, it's kind of like It's not one of the like hardest engineering majors. It's more about like how you optimize existing systems. So Berkeley's program is like highly touted as well. So that's there. Obviously, like the other big name engineering schools like Georgia Tech, Cornell, Columbia.
Yeah.
So we're applying to all of those. But yeah, I finished most of them. I'm working on I finished tech today, but we're working on some other ones. But yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, did you apply to USC?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna link up with Ryan. But but it was like it's hard applying this year because I mean like community college, like the typical path is 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. But typically what holds people back is the 60 credit mark from applying that year. But since I had a lot of AP credits and I planned my timeline like pretty accordingly, like I took classes over summer and I utilized like cross-campus coursework, I was able to meet that 60 credit threshold. But that's only for UCs. Like privates, like it's actually what is it? Like you're supposed to like apply after 1 year. Like they typically admit more sophomore admits than juniors. So I mean, yeah, I'm just taking advantage, just throwing whatever I can get. If I can land them, then I can land them. But if I can't, I'll take another year.
That's crazy because you said you have to hit 60 credits, which would like make you a junior effectively when you go to school, which is insane because like you basically did what any of us did in 2 years.
Yeah.
And you did it in 1 year, and you did it for like a fraction of the cost. So
Yeah.
It shows like how like community college could be just like
absolutely. Yeah. And it took some convincing from my parents,
Yeah.
I had some good options. Especially my mom wanted me to go to this one school, but my dad was very like, he wanted me to go to Santa Cruz and play. Like that was his goal. But it took some convincing,
What school do your mom want you?
Cal Poly Pomona.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, for engineering.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Severe.
Yes, shout out Severe, bro.
Because they're really good.
They're really good,
school,
and I was really tempted. Like I was almost about to hit that deposit, but I really wanted to. Like as I mentioned previously, like I had gotten there with my effort in high school, which was minimal academically.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see like where I could go if I fully applied myself.
Yeah.
So
That's really good.
Yeah. So that was. Took my dad some convincing, but like recently he just told me like he was like happy I chose community college, and I was like
Yeah.
it kind of felt good. But yeah.
Oh, it's a B?
Yeah.
All right.
And, like, what were your choices like
Yeah.
coming out of high
I'll
school?
take it over. So you recently just went to New York.
Oh yeah.
My brother
New
was
York?
out there.
Yes,
I
sir.
went there over the summer, and my first time was really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of talk us through that experience. What was your favorite parts, and would you go back?
It was great. New York was amazing. So we stayed in New Jersey, which is like it's like right next to it, right? So it was like a 15-minute bus ride, but it was dope. Like just seeing the skyline every morning and every night coming back. It was like an amazing experience. I think my favorite part, we like rented these e-bikes and we biked through Central Park. That was like really nice. Like cause like we were walking all day. It was kind of getting tiring. I honestly think we tried to pack too much into one day. So like we were just walking, like it just kind of felt like I was following everybody. But other than that, it was an amazing experience. I really liked the 9/11 memorial. Like that was really cool.
And similar gears, you've been on a lot of cool trips with the family recently.
Sure.
Like national parks, all that type of stuff. What was your favorite hike or natural landmark that you went to, and what kind of differentiated that specific one from all the others?
That was good. That's a good question. I went to Canada recently with my mom and my sister, and I went on this long 8-mile hike with my sister. I don't really remember the name, but it was in one of the national parks. And just walking, just like the landscape, like the whole mountain landscape, it's a lot different than when you see in like California, Southern California especially. Like the hikes in Southern California, it's just like brown hills and like, I'm a little bit higher than other people.
Yeah.
And I see everyone. It's kind of like mid, but when you go to like Canada, it's like dope. Like you're hiking through the mountains. It would rain sometimes. It wouldn't rain sometimes. It just like the whole landscape. Like Canada's really dope. Like I really like Canada more than like.
Which part of Canada was it?
Damn. Like, okay, so we started at Vancouver and then we drove up. I don't know, British Columbia. I don't know like exactly where. I know we went to Revelstoke, Yoho National. I think it was Yoho National Park actually. So it was a bit more up, but it was amazing. It was beautiful. Have you guys ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there. I just went to Vancouver over the summer, and I went to Whistler. I don't know if you went there.
Nah.
It's north of Vancouver, but yeah, that was pretty fun.
You like
it was during the summer, but it was like raining, so it wasn't like it wasn't sunny, which was kind of unfortunate. But it was still beautiful. I can't lie.
Right. Well,
Yeah, I've been in Niagara Falls. So we did like, I forgot how old I was, elementary school, but we did a few nights in Niagara Falls and a few nights in Toronto.
Yeah.
So I really liked the Niagara Falls. There was like it's like the outskirts of the waterfall itself. It was a little
Yeah.
town called Niagara on the lake.
Really?
And it was super pretty. It was middle of summer. Everything was all green.
Yeah.
Like kind of rural area, a lot of local restaurants.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely want to, I don't remember because I had the pictures in my head
Yeah.
from like when you posted them when you went.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it's called either. But that stuff looks really sick.
Nah, it was dope.
Definitely on the
Sure.
bucket list.
What's your favorite spot you guys have been in?
All time, I'd say probably Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Just 'cause, like,
Yeah.
bro, I feel like you can't beat it. I
Dead
mean, it's
ass.
like close to us. Like,
Yeah.
the water's insane. Like the stuff. They also do like a bunch of stuff to like preserve like their beautiful areas. So that's fire. So.
Nature-wise, I'm gonna have to agree. Kauai specifically, but
Yeah.
I guess overall, since I'm gonna be kind of boring, I'll probably say Japan.
Really?
We went to Tokyo when I was in 6th grade, and it's so different.
Really?
Like, everything about it, the culture, the lifestyle, and I don't know. It might be some like hindsight bias because I was younger, and it was so cool seeing all that for the first time.
Yeah.
The main thing was the subway system. Like obviously we don't.
Yeah, bro.
We
I really like that about New York.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I agree too.
like in
yeah.
SoCal, we don't really got
Yeah,
nothing like public transport.
Yeah.
So just seeing how normal it was, like
Yeah.
you could literally go everywhere by hopping on the subway and like takes you
Seriously.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Tokyo
similar
to-
to New York? Or you just-
I think so. I would say so. It's probably. I actually don't know which one's more advanced, but yeah, it was really cool, and
Yeah.
we got pretty much everywhere. with
Yeah.
that, so.
No, I really like the public transport, like
Yeah.
in New York. It was dope. Like I don't know, I just like it. Like, you just sit on
The food too. The food's insane. Yeah.
Don't get me started on. Like
Yeah.
I probably blew through racks and racks of money on food.
Bro.
Not like racks, but like
Well, it's because like I feel like everything like here. I mean, for the most part, it's like
Yeah.
there's so much stuff that's like watered down.
Right,
Like,
seriously,
like
yeah.
I'm talking like actually just watered
Yeah.
down. Like besides just like boring and
yeah.
besides like the Asian food here, but
Yeah,
New York like everything's good. I swear.
Dude, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I would wake up, just walk around, and then we're waiting at the line for some Stussy store or Supreme. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not about to buy anything.
Yeah.
Just walk 2 minutes to Prince's Pizza.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
snacks,
No, it's
man,
not.
it was
Yeah.
so good. And you just look around, everything's good. You got Ichiran over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if I went to NYU, the 15 is coming like these.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But anyway, on our podcast, we do like one last question where
Yeah.
everyone goes around and answers it. So the question today is, what's something that most people don't know about you that you would want more people to know?
You want me to answer it first?
Nah, we get Ryan to go
Yeah,
first.
they always make me go first.
Yeah.
Try to put me on the spot.
Yeah.
But I would say I'm pretty. It might be an exaggeration, but I'd say I'm pretty musically gifted. I played the piano for about 10 years. I quit like middle of high school just to focus on school and sports and stuff, and my heart wasn't really in it. I know they would always get mad at me when I talk about, oh, I got piano practice, I can't go to the center after school, stuff like that. But yeah, no, I've always had a pretty big appreciation for music and art in general. Like I really like going to museums, seeing art, and like everything art and music related. It's just hits nicely in my soul. So yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I would not have known that. All right, so my answer to that question, I had thought about it, and it was very general. But now hearing Ryan's response, I kind of want to go more specific.
Yeah.
But my first response was going to be that, like, you know, I am who I say I am in like a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whatever you guys are seeing, like I'm not that much different in real life. But like in a more like specific way to answer that question, like I think I have like a lot of interests that like span everywhere. Like as he said with the piano, like I used to play the piano for 7 years, and then I just forgot how to. But like I would love to learn it. But there's a lot of things that like I haven't like learned yet that like I want to learn. So like I'm very open to try new things, and like everything like appeals to me, no matter how weird it may sound. You know?
All right, but that just about wraps up our podcast. We got a doubleheader tonight. We got Severe coming on right after this. But yeah, no, we had a great time, and yeah, we'll see you very soon.